One of the ways that I like to use the new channel overview in Studio Pro is for sound design. So here I've got an instrument track with a sample one, and then I've got the channel overview active. So here in the bottom right hand corner, if I click on that, we can show and hide that channel overview. And let's go ahead and open up the sample one. So I could have this sampler open, bring in some of the sounds that I want to work with. And while yes, we could open up the effects mod section here within sample one, we've got modulation, delay, reverb, and on effects B, we've got a gator, EQ, distortion, and panning. So we do have some basic effects in here that we can quickly access and tweak our sounds, but I like to use a bit of the higher quality full plugins that are available within the DAW, as well as other third-party plugins that are a bit more advanced and of a higher quality than the ones that are kind of here for doing quick work. Now, another way that I find the channel overview useful is for working on mixes. So say I have a mix with 15-20 tracks, I can go ahead and select, say, the vocal track, and then just really focus on the effects that are on that channel here with a bit of a larger view, but still being able to see multiple plugins at the same time. On my particular laptop screen and the resolution, I would never be able to see all 4 of these plugin effects at the same time. Now, of course, we are limited in the parameters that we have available, but at least with the third-party ones, we can choose what's going to be shown for it, and we'll take a look at that in a moment. So let's go ahead and switch over to our top track because we don't have any effects on this top track here. So let's take a look at a couple of ways that we can add the effects. So as you imagine, we have this big plus here. We can click on that, and I'm just going to type in EQ. That highlights the Pro EQ. I'll go ahead and press enter. So we can see that this has now been loaded in our overview here. And we can even come in and highlight and move some of these points here to make some adjustments to our EQ. Now, if we'd like to see the floating controls or floating window for the EQ, we can click on this button here, and that's going to open up the full window for our Pro EQ. Let's click on the X to close that out. We can also double click in an empty gray area, and that's going to do the same. Now, a second area where we can add plugins is going to be coming here to the plus in the top left corner. I'll go ahead and click on that. Let's just type in COM for the compressor. I'll press enter. And so we can see that that's been added after our EQ, and the floating window for it is now open. So just the same, we can click on the button in the top right corner to open its floating window, or double click in an empty gray area. Double click again to toggle the view off. Now, if we come to the bottom right hand corner and open up the browser, we can come to the effects tab here, and let's click on Defender to expand that out. And we can also drag into the overview from the browser. So let's bring in the red light distortion. I'll left click hold and just drag that. We can see that vertical blue bar lets us know where that's going to be placed after our compressor. And we'll go ahead and close out our browser, and finally we'll hop over to our channel here. Now, if you noticed in the bottom right hand corner of our channel, we have this little button. We can click on this. This is going to expand out these sections here, where we can also click to add effects within this insert section. We can also add and set up sends here, and then also the QMix section here. So we just be aware that you also have this area where you can add and manage your effects for this particular channel. We'll go ahead and click on this to hide that. Now, if we'd like to remove a plugin, we can simply right click on it, and then at the bottom we have remove. Also, we have these tabs at the top, which are going to select the different plugins. You'll notice there's a little downward facing arrow. Whenever I click once to select, it switches. So if we come to our Pro EQ, I can then click on that downward facing arrow, and we have remove here as well. And as you can imagine, we can click on the expand button and go to the downward facing arrow and remove from here. We'll go ahead and close that out. Now, we have a few other options when we click on the downward facing arrow. So if we choose edit, that's going to open up the plugin window itself. And then we can rename it, bypass, add it to favorites, store preset if we've made some adjustments to the parameters and we'd like to use them in a different song. We can disable the device, enable plugin nap for it, so whenever it's not receiving an audio signal, it will go to sleep. And then also, we already saw a moment ago, we can remove. Now we can also use these tabs to change the order of our effects. So if I come to the red light distortion, left click and hold, you see we have that vertical blue bar. If I want to put that in the very front, I'll just release with my left mouse, and now the distortion is at the front. But I'm going to go ahead and just drag that back to its original position. Now let's click on the plus to add a third-party effect. So maybe we'll work with the Vice Exciter. So I'll just go ahead and click once on that. Okay, and once that's loaded, we can see that we have 8 different parameters that we can make use of on this initial screen that we have here. So we've got pre-high pass, pre-low pass, and again, this is going to be the maximum amount of parameters that we can display from our third-party plugins. So if we would like to change these, then we can right-click, and then we have this contextual menu where at the bottom we have Setup, Edit Parameters. So I'll go ahead and click once on that. And then on the right-hand side, we can see all of the parameters that are available from this particular device. Let's go ahead and close out of here for a moment, and we'll go ahead and open up this device. So we can see all of the different parameters that are available. We even have a settings menu here with some other parameters. So this is more than we're able to show in this medium view. But let's go ahead and close this out. And again, we will right-click, come down to the bottom. So on the left, we have everything that's currently displaying. So we can see ganged and mid-side, and we can see those. We can see how it's going to function, or the type. These are switches, and these are going to be knobs. We can always right-click and then edit as switch, and that's then going to change, and we can see that that high pass is now a button. But I'm going to go ahead and right-click and change that back to the knob. Now I'm going to select the top high pass, and then I'm going to click on the remove to take that out. I'll select on the low pass one, and we'll also remove that out. And now I'm going to click on the subtle one. Actually, I'll just double click on that and double click on subtle 2. And then now we can see that these have now been added in the bottom right hand corner of our window here. And this is going to be a global change. So if I were to Control and N to open up the new song dialog, let's click on OK, and we'll come to the Effects tab, and we'll just scroll down to our, actually, let's left arrow to collapse this, and we want to come to the soft tube because we want that Vice Exciter. I'll left click, hold, and drag that in. Let's close out our browser, and we don't need this window. We'll switch over to the channel overview, and then you can see the subtle 1 and 2 are now available within this window here in our entirely new session. So let's come up to the top right corner and click on the paper icon to switch back to our original song. Now down at the bottom of our overview, we can see these 2 tabs here where we can switch between the 2 different tracks that we have within this song. If I press T to bring up the Add Tracks dialog, let's go ahead and put a 8 in here for the count. I'll go ahead and click on OK so we can get some more tracks and channels. So now you can see we have a lot more tabs in here, but just know that we can select. Clicking once on these, we can go to the channel overview for the track. Now also in the bottom left hand corner, if I click on this, we're going to show the inputs. So these are going to be the physical inputs on our audio interface. For me, this is the left and right mic built into my laptop screen. If I come here, this is going to be input 1, so the left mic. But if you have an audio interface connected, these are going to be specifically for the physical inputs coming in on your audio interface. Now, if you were to add inserts here, these are going to be printed to the audio that you're recording, and you cannot remove the effects if you put them on these input channels. But we'll go ahead and hide that. We have 1 for outs, but I only have 2 outs, so this is going to be, nothing's going to happen. If you have multiple outs set up on your audio interface, then you'll see those over on the right hand side. I'll go ahead and turn that back off. Now up above that, we have show channel icons. So if I click on that, we can see we have these little gray boxes that appear. So I'll go ahead and close that again so you can be sure to see. Clicking, we expand that out. And then now I can come here, and then I can click on this little arrow, and then I can choose an image that best represents this particular channel. And then right above the expand button here, we can click on this to show little baby meters here in the bottom. So here's our little synth sound. So I'll click on this again to hide those meters. Okay, so I'm not sure how useful they'll be, but they are cool to look at. Now we'll start to go ahead and wrap up here this tutorial, but just a few things that we're going to finish up would be the global power button here, which is going to be for this entire channel. So we can see that we have power buttons on each individual plugin, but if you're, say, working on a mix and you'd like to hear what the changes will be once you power off all of your effects to kind of A/B, to be sure that your mix is going in the right direction as far as this channel is concerned, we can click on this button here, and then we can see that all of our plugins have been powered off by once. So again, trying to A/B the work you're doing, making use of this can be a really cool idea. Now, if you've created a chain that you'd like to use in other songs or other channels, then you can click on the downward facing arrow here, and then here are presets that come with Studio Pro out of the box. But then you can come down to the bottom and store the effects chain that you've created. You can disable all and you can remove all. And finally, if you'd like to float or undock this overview, you do have that option. So in the top left corner, we have this upward facing arrow. So I'll click once on that. And now we've got this window floating, and you can drag it to another monitor if you'd like. This can be resized horizontally. Okay, and then if we'd like to reattach, we can click on the downward facing button here. And that's about it, guys. To finish up, I'll just say that if you're interested in one-on-one training with me over Zoom in Studio Pro, I do provide that. And you can find out more information by checking out the description area of this video or the pinned comment below. And otherwise, I hope to see you in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching.